Ethan Caldwell woke up at 6:03 a.m. to the sound of his own breathing, shallow, panicked, like he'd been running in his sleep. The radiator in his Lincoln Park studio hissed and clanked, a metallic heartbeat that matched the one in his chest. The air smelled of cedar from the candle he'd burned last night, Isabella's favorite, a $42 diptyque base she'd bought on a whim at Nordstrom, and the faint lavender of the detergent she used on the sheets, tide-free and gentle, because Ethan's skin got itchy otherwise.
His side of the bed was empty.
She'd slipped out at 5:45 for a 7 a.m. spin class at SoulCycle on Halstead. A sticky note on her pillow fluttered in the draft from the cracked window. "Don't forget the dry cleaning.
Love you. I." Ethan stared at the handwriting.
The loop on the Y.
The heart dotting the I. 3 years of mornings like this.
3 years of pretending the world made sense.
He was 29.
5 feet 11 inches.
170 pounds.
Senior UX designer at Nexus Interactive, a tech startup in the West Loop that raised $12 million last quarter and still couldn't fix the office Wi-Fi. He could wireframe an app in 45 minutes, charm a client with a half-smile that never reached his eyes, and still feel like a ghost in his own skin.
His cubicle smelled like cold brew and dry erase markers.
His apartment smelled like cedar, lavender, and secrets.
He dragged himself out of bed. The hardwood was cold under his bare feet. He padded to the bathroom.
The mirror showed a guy who looked like he'd lost a fight with a lawnmower. Brown hair sticking up in sweaty tufts, hazel eyes bloodshot from too many late-night scrolls, stubble patchy from lazy shaving.
Average.
Forgettable.
Safe.
He brushed his teeth with bar soap because he'd run out of toothpaste 3 days ago and kept forgetting to buy more. The minty foam tasted like guilt. In the kitchen, the grocery list was taped to the fridge with a magnet shaped like a pizza slice.
Milk. Eggs. Spinach. Wine. Tampons.
The last item was in Isabella's handwriting.
He stared at it until the letters blurred. Tampons. A reminder that she bled and he didn't.
A reminder that some things were simple for her and impossible for him. The box under the bed whispered. He ignored it. He had to. He dressed in his uniform, dark jeans, gray hoodie, sneakers with a hole in the left toe.
Backpack. Laptop. AirPods.
He locked the door behind him at 7:03 a.m. The L train rattled south. He stood the whole way, one hand gripping the pole, the other clutching his backpack like it might run. At Clark Lake, he got off. The air smelled like hot dogs and wet leaves.
He walked the 3 blocks to the office faster than necessary.
Nexus Interactive occupied the 12th floor of a glass building that reflected the cloudy sky like a lie.
He badge swiped in at 7:41.
The lobby smelled like lemon cleaner and ambition.
His cubicle was a shrine to chaos.
A half-dead succulent named Kevin. A stack of post-its with slogans like "Kill the Brief" and "Make It Sexy." A framed photo of him and Isabella at Navy Pier last summer. Her laughing, him looking at her like she was the only real thing in the world. His teammate Sarah leaned over the cubicle wall at 11:03 a.m. "Dude, you okay? You look like you saw a ghost."
Ethan forced a grin.
"Just caffeine crash."
Sarah tossed him a protein bar. "Eat."
"You're scaring the interns." Lunch was a salad he didn't taste. He ate it at his desk, scrolling Reddit threads about identity and shame and what if I'm not who I say I am?
He closed the tab when Sarah walked by.
At 2:17 p.m., Isabella texted.
"Client dinner moved to 8. Home by 10. Miss your face." 10 o'clock. 6 hours and 43 minutes. The war drum started again. He left the office at 5:02 p.m.
The L train rattled north. He stood the whole way, one hand gripping the pole, the other clutching his backpack like it might run. At Belmont, he got off. The air smelled like hot dogs and wet leaves.
He walked the 3 blocks home faster than necessary.
The apartment door clicked shut behind him at 5:28 p.m.
Silence. He locked the deadbolt. Checked it twice. Drew the curtains. Turned on only the lamp in the bedroom. The box. He knelt on the rug.
The key on the chain around his neck glinted in the low light. The lock opened with a soft snick. Inside. Black lace dress, still in its dry cleaning bag. The plastic crinkling like nerves. Nude patent stilettos, size 10 women's, left toes scuffed from the last time he'd worn them and tripped over the rug. Platinum blonde wig on a styrofoam head, blank eyes staring. Makeup case, too many shades, too many possibilities. Silicone hip pads, breast forms, a life in plastic and fabric. He carried it all to the bedroom like a priest with relics. Curtains drawn. Lamp on low. Door locked.
He stripped. The mirror on the closet door watched. First the shave. Face. Neck. Chest. Arms. Legs.
Every inch smooth. The razor scraped like a secret being told.
He nicked his ankle.
A bead of blood welled up, bright against pale skin.
He pressed a tissue to it.
Watched it stop. Foundation.
Cool. Thick. Blending away Ethan. Concealer under the eyes.
Contour on the cheeks. Eyeliner sharp enough to cut glass.
Mascara in 2 coats.
Lipstick, MAC Velvet Teddy.
The bullet clicked like a gun. The wig.
He tucked his short hair underneath, pinned it flat with bobby pins that bit into his scalp.
The platinum waves fell to his mid-back. He shook his head.
The hair moved like water.
Padding.
Hips first. Then the forms, cool silicone warming against his skin.
The dress. Zipper up the back.
He reached behind, fingers trembling. The lace settled over his new curves like it had been waiting.
Heels. 4 inches. Nude patent. He stood. Wobbled. Found balance.
Clicked across the hardwood to the full-length mirror.
Ilara stared back. She was beautiful.
Not in the Instagram way.
In the I finally breathe way.
She twirled.
The hem flared. She smiled. The lipstick didn't crack.
The clock on the nightstand read 6:11 p.m. 3 hours and 49 minutes.
She walked the apartment like she owned it. Heels clicking. Hips swaying.
She poured a glass of wine from the fridge, Isabella's favorite Pinot.
Drank it standing at the sink.
The red stained her lips darker.
She took selfies.
Not for anyone. Just proof.
This happened. This is real.
At 6:47 p.m., she sat on the couch. Legs crossed. Dress riding up.
She scrolled TikTok.
Laughed at a sound she didn't recognize. Her own.
The jar was on the bathroom counter. She'd forgotten it existed.
Eternal Glow Beauty Cream.
Silver lid. Black glass. She'd grabbed it at a mall pop-up last Saturday.
The booth babe had glitter on her cheeks and a smile like a shark.
Free sample. Changes everything. Ethan had laughed. I'm good with bar soap. She'd slipped it into his hand anyway.
Now it gleamed under the bathroom light.
Ilara unscrewed the lid. The cream was pearlescent. Smelled like vanilla and ozone. She scooped a dollop. Just my face. A little glow. She smeared it across her cheeks. Jaw. Neck.
It melted in like it was thirsty.
Warm. Then hot. She capped the jar. Washed her hands. The warmth spread. She walked back to the living room. Clicked. 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 The warmth became fire. She stumbled. Caught the edge of the couch. The room tilted. Her skin prickled. Every follicle. Every pore. She clawed at her face. The makeup didn't smudge. It settled. She ran to the mirror. Her jaw softened. Cheekbones rose. Lips plumped. Her chest burned.
The silicone forms shifted, then weren't silicone anymore.
Flesh. Real. Heavy. She screamed.
The sound came out high.
Melodic. Terrified. Her hips cracked. Loud. Like ice breaking. She shrank. 1 inch. 2.
The dress fit like it was tailored yesterday. Between her legs.
A hollow ache.
Then nothing.
She fell to her knees.
The wig slipped.
She didn't need it.
Her own hair tumbled past her shoulders in thick platinum waves. The color matched the wig exactly.
She touched her face. Smooth. Flawless. No stubble. No pores. Just skin that drank light. The jar on the counter now had new text. Tiny. Glowing.
Feminization challenge. Phase 1 complete. Irreversible.
Phase 2 unlocked at midnight.
Complete all 7 daily tasks to reverse. Fail and remain Ilara forever.
She laughed. Then cried. Then laughed again because the sound was hers. Her phone buzzed on the coffee table.
Unknown number. Task 1. Post a selfie as Ilara on Instagram.
Tag #Feminization challenge.
30 minutes or forfeit.
20 minutes until Isabella.
30 minutes to post. The apartment shrank to the size of a coffin. The black dress was evidence. The heels were weapons. The body was a crime scene. She kicked off the shoes.
Bare feet on cold wood. She ran to the bedroom.
The box.
The lock.
Her hands, smaller now, fumbled the key.
It snapped.
No. Men's clothes. All wrong. Jeans wouldn't button.
Hoodie swallowed her. Socks like boats. She grabbed a baseball cap.
stuffed her hair underneath, wiped at the lipstick with the sleeve.
It smeared like blood. Keys in the lock. She froze in the bedroom doorway. The cap fell. Hair spilled. Isabella stepped in. Heels first. Then the rest of her. Dark curls. Red lipstick. Takeout bag swinging. She kicked the door shut. Ethan?
You home? Ilara pressed her back to the wall,
heart in her throat.
Isabella's footsteps crossed the living room. Stopped. Why is there a high heel in the middle of the floor?
Ilara's breath hitched. The left stiletto. Nude patent. Scuffed toe. Ethan? Isabella's voice sharpened.
Babe, this isn't funny.
The bedroom door pushed. Ilara dug her heels in.
Isabella, wait.
The voice wasn't Ethan's. It was hers. Silence. Then the door pushed harder. Ilara stumbled forward. The hoodie gaped. The dress peeked out like a secret. Isabella froze. Takeout bag slipped. Noodles splattered.
Who the hell are you?
Ilara sank to her knees. Hoodie pooling. It's me, she whispered.
It's Ethan.
Isabella's eyes darted. Dress. Legs. Face. Hair. The jar on the dresser. She stepped over the noodles. Knelt. Reached out. Pulled back.
You're a girl.
I don't know what I am.
Isabella picked up the jar.
Turned it.
The glowing text. Feminization challenge. Phase 1 complete. Irreversible.
Phase 2 unlocked at midnight.
Complete all 7 daily tasks to reverse. Fail and remain Ilara forever.
She read it aloud. Her voice flat.
You started a challenge. I didn't. You didn't see because you were too busy lying to me for 3 years.
Ilara flinched. Isabella stood. Paced. Stopped at the mirror. Stared at Ilara's reflection. I thought the late nights were work.
The locked box was comics.
The perfume was, what?
A co-worker?
No. Never. It was me. Isabella laughed. Sharp. Brittle. Just you. Right. The you I've never met. She grabbed her phone. Thumb hovering. Who do I call? 911? A scientist?
Your mom.
Don't. Ilara crawled forward.
Grabbed Isabella's ankle. I'm still me. The parts that matter.
Isabella looked down. Eyes wet.
You don't get to decide what parts matter.
The phone buzzed again.
Unknown number. Task 1 failed.
Penalty. Voice permanently feminine.
Task 2. Wear heels for 24 hours. Begin now. Ilara's voice cracked higher. Permanent.
Isabella stared.
You're in a game.
The doorbell rang.
Both froze. Package for Caldwell. Isabella wiped her face. Stay here.
She walked to the door. Opened it a crack. Signed. Closed it. Came back with a brown box. No label. Ethan's name in Sharpie. Inside, another jar. Full.
A pair of red patent 5-inch heels.
A note.
Task 3. Apply Phase 2 cream. Task 4. Live stream as Ilara for 1 hour. Task 5. Kiss a stranger. Task 6. Wear lingerie to work. Task 7. Tell Isabella the truth. Fail any task and remain Ilara forever.
Begin at midnight. Isabella read it. Looked at Ilara.
You have to do this.
Ilara stared at the cream. Handshaking. Or I stay like this.
Forever.
The clock ticked to 6:58 p.m. 5 hours until midnight. Isabella set the jar next to the empty one. Like a dare. Then we play, she said.
Together.
She sat on the bed. Didn't touch Ilara. Didn't leave.
Outside, the L train rumbled. Inside, 2 women breathed the same air and waited for the challenge to decide who they were allowed to be.
Ilara looked at the mirror. At the girl she'd always been inside.
At the girlfriend who might walk out forever. The cream gleamed. Midnight was coming. And whatever happened next, there was no undoing the challenge now.